I had always heard that you should treat other people the way that you want to be treated, but I'm into really hardcore S&M, so that doesn't work for me. I can't just go around spanking everyone I meet, even though I might like to. I've been into S&M for about as long as I can remember. When I was born, the doctor smacked my ass and I asked him to do it again. And then I found out on the Discovery Channel that they now have proof that fetuses sometimes masturbate in the womb. I used to do that too, but I'd wrap the umbilical cord around my neck first. A couple months ago, I went out on a date with this girl that I didn't really want to go out with, so I took her to the Olive Garden. That's not the joke, but thanks. While we were sitting there waiting for our food, we were making small talk, and as a joke, I asked her if she was sensitive to chloroform. She didn't think that was funny. She choked on her breadstick and got the hiccups. So I stared at her like this for a minute and said, "The only reason I ask is because after dinner I'm gonna rape you." She said, "You're gonna rape me?" I said, "Not really, I just wanted to cure your hiccups." And then I tried to take a drink of my soda, but I accidentally blew it out of the glass and onto my lap because the waiter put the straw in upside down. That's how I separate the smarter members of the audience. And then I could tell things weren't going very well, so I decided it wouldn't hurt to be blunt. So I looked at her and I said, "Hey, would you be cool if I peed on you?" And she said, "What?" And I said, "Could you pass the salt?" She just got up and left. And the waitress came, I paid for the check, and where it said tip, I wrote, "Never trust a dentist with fucked up teeth." In my life, I have slept with a girl who had cancer, a girl who was a cancer, and a girl that tried slowly killing me like a cancer. And all three gave me crabs. Yes, that's a Zodiac joke at the Zodiac. Isn't that hilarious and clever? I got pulled over the other day and the cop came up to my car and said, "Do you know how fast you were going back there?" And I said, "You're not going to check the trunk, are you?" I didn't actually have anything in the trunk. I just said that to fuck with him. There's nothing they can do. You should try that. Sometimes when I'm bored, I like to draw pictures of babies on my Etch-a-Sketch so I can shape them and get away with it. Some of you should try that too. I wrote all my jokes on my hand in case I forget. It's nice to know it's good for something else. A few days ago, I got an email from this company that claimed they could sell me a pill that would make my penis 25% bigger. But that doesn't really do me any good if I have nothing to stick it inside of. Not to mention, 25% of 2 inches is half an inch, which would bring me to a grand total of 2.5 inches. And I'm not paying $95 for that. When I was a kid, I used to get teased on the school bus, and one day I was complaining about it. My grandfather looked at me and he said, "You know, when I was your age, I had to walk to school uphill both ways." I said, "Well, if you were that fucking stupid, school wasn't gonna work out." He took off his belt and started beating me right there in the living room. I still have a scar from that beating, which I was gonna show you tonight, but I accidentally left it in the car. That's another one of those smart people jokes, I guess. Let me consult my hand. I got in trouble once for hitting my sister, and my mom pulled me aside and she said, "Josh, you know, Santa always knows when you're bad, and if you misbehave, he won't ever bring you any presents." And I thought that was bullshit, so I converted to Judaism. And I went to temple, and the rabbi told me I had to wear a yarmulke inside the temple to show my respect for God. I said, "I'm not here to respect God, I'm here to disrespect Santa." The rabbi threw me out. When I was a kid, I also once helped my dad try to fix a tractor, and he asked me to hand him something called a Jesus clip, but I didn't know what that was, so I guessed and gave him a handful of nails. And I was wrong. My dad got very angry. He said, "Those are not Jesus clips. Jesus clips are little circular rings." I said, "Circular rings is a redundancy." Dad spanked me twice and said, "How's that for a redundancy?" The problem was I was still confused about whether every depiction of the crucifixion I've seen was historically accurate. Was Jesus murdered with nails or little circular rings? I tried to find out, but every priest I talked to had a nervous breakdown. One got so outraged by my blasphemy, he said I was going to rot in hell, at which point I told him souls can't decompose. He started having a seizure. I thought about calling 911, but I didn't want to waste my minutes, so I just sent them a text message instead. And then I tried praying, but he died anyway, which I couldn't help but find just a little funny. At the funeral, his wife was very angry with me. She blamed me for not calling 911 while her husband was dying. I said, "Why are you so upset? He's in heaven." She said, "I know, but I still wish we could be together." I said, "That can be arranged." Do you know what a Jesus clip is? That didn't actually ever happen. Yes, I'm consulting my hand again. I'm not a professional. I used to be a part of Mr. Rogers' neighborhood watch. One day we caught him treating the mailman like a puppet, but the mailman didn't seem to mind, so we let it go. That's a fisting joke. I should have known not to do that. The straw and star one went over too many people's heads, I guess. I shouldn't expect people to get a fisting joke at all.
Not Mr. McFeely.
No, I'm not Mr. McFeely. In my middle school health class, the teacher told us that if you masturbated, you'd get hairy palms. And from then on, everyone just assumed I jerked off using my forearms. And then she said that if you masturbated too often, you'd go blind. I said, "I don't give a shit, I can find my dick in the dark pretty easily." I often do. And then later in high school, the first time I saw a porno film, I got really depressed because it made me understand how small my dick was. My dad said, "It's not the size of a pencil, it's the way you write with it." And that made me even more depressed because my handwriting was terrible. I got really upset and I said, "Dad, I don't want to die alone just because I'm terrible in bed." He said, "Oh, don't worry, you'll die alone anyway because you're an asshole." That one's actually true. Isn't that terrible? When I was in 9th grade, one of my friends told me that the best way to practice going down on a woman was to treat it like you were eating an ice cream cone. And I tried that. And it actually works pretty well until you get to the cone part. Sorry to whoever has to use this microphone next. I truly apologize. Let's see what else I have here. According to my hand, I once got tested for hepatitis and I got a C. They tell me that's pretty average. I guess I could have done better, but I'll live. I sometimes wonder if Craigslist would have been successful if the man that created it was named Schindler. Probably not. And to close, I'm now going to show you 2 impressions, because they're the only 2 impressions I have. The first one is what it was like to have sex with my last girlfriend. Thank you. For those of have sex with my last girlfriend. She wouldn't fuck me. Can't help but wonder why. And my last impression is of a deer trying to give oral sex to another deer. Thank you.
Josh Moore, everybody. All right.